Hey everyone, we are the group Living Things and we are here to discuss phosphorus cycle. Phosphorus is an essential nutrient for us living things. It is a key component in cell development, especially with ATP, DNA, and lipids. Though phosphorus can be found all around us, it needs to undergo a lot of processes to turn into an absorbable form for living organisms. The phosphorus cycle has four key steps, namely weathering, absorption, decomposition, and sediments. First, rain will cause rocks to weather. Phosphate ions and other minerals will get deposited in the soil and water. Plants will assimilate or take up the inorganic phosphates from the soil, after which these plants will be eaten by animals. The animals will then acquire the needed phosphate to create different molecules like DNA. In time, the animal or plant will die, and the remains will decay. Through decaying, the organic phosphate will be brought back to the soil. Then mineralization will occur. Bacteria would break the organic phosphate into its inorganic form so it can be absorbed again by the plants. The phosphorus in the soil, especially it is too much than what plants can absorb, will end up in waterways and oceans. This excess phosphorus will soon get incorporated into sediments. Over the course of time, these phosphate-enriched sediments will get uplifted and the process will repeat again. Now, this is your usual phosphorus cycle. But what if there were additional elements added to the cycle? We now know the phosphorus is essential for the growth of living things. So let's take food crops as an example. To make sure that a field can harvest its maximum yield, one needs to make sure that the soil has enough phosphorus, and that's why farmers use phosphorus-infused fertilizers. However, having too much excess fertilizer would get carried away in the bodies of water and eutrophication will happen. Water also has living beings in it, such as algae, because there's a sudden increase of phosphorus in the water, there will also be a boom with its growth causing a phenomenon called algal bloom. The growth of algae is so dense that it blocks sunlight needed by plants underwater and everything underneath will start dying, including the algae. This would therefore cause bacteria to feed on it. These bacteria would use up every last bit of oxygen in the water due to the presence of multiple decaying algae, and the body of water would become oxygen deprived, thus causing animals to die, and this area would be called the dead zone. What are the effects of the instability caused by excessive or lack of factors in the cycle? First, looking at biodiversity, there would be a disruption in the whole system. With excessive amounts of phosphorus, it will cause a sudden increase of some variables that would cause other parts to diminish too much, or die in short. With the lack of phosphorus, death will still occur because the process of growth will be halted. Next is food security. Now, with a part of the system threatened, sudden death of animals, especially that of what humans consume, will also increase the danger of vulnerability to food security. Moreover, the availability of clean water would decrease due to the presence of algal bloom. Next is human health. With the presence of algal blooms, some are harmful to humans as they produce elevated toxins and bacterial growth that would make us humans sick. This would pose a threat to our health if we come into contact with the now polluted water, consume tainted fish or shellfish, or drink the contaminated water. Last is the water quality. Algal infected water is really bad for your health. So if just like in the example, there is just too much phosphorus deposit in the water, the vulnerability of good drinking water will increase. Drinking algal infected water can lead to gastroenteritis and other diseases. As students, what can we do to alleviate these problems? Of course, as students, we should persuade farmers by increasing the organic matter in agricultural soils as it will decrease the runoff that will benefit the plants. Next is eliminate organic compost and organic fertilizers such as manures. We need to also educate people such as students, young people, and even farmers to limit or better eliminate the use of pesticides, insecticides, or man-made fertilizers, as they would disrupt the cycle and cause further damage, such as killing fishes, creating an algal bloom, especially the toxic blue and green algae. Thank you very much.